CCUA's Facility Managers Network presents Continuity Planning, Episode 5. Safeguarding members and staff, best practices for maintaining virus-free services, offices, and branches. I'm Walt Laskos. Welcome to our conversation this afternoon. You know, we've all heard about and seen the videos demonstrating the proper way to wash your hands. We've been instructed not to touch our faces and to wear gloves. We're now being instructed to wear a facial mask when out in public, all being done to prevent the spread of the COVID-19 virus. But what about our offices, our branches, the ATMs, the counters, and all services throughout our workspace? Just how clean and sanitary are they when confronted with the novel coronavirus? And even more important, what are the most effective ways to ensure that they are virus-free? Well, to discuss and answer those questions and more, we've assembled a distinguished panel of experienced experts in facility management and corporate cleaning services. And let me introduce them to you now. From Dover Federal Credit Union in Dover, Delaware, we have Austin Brown, facilities technician. From Stratus Building Solutions in Newark, Delaware, we have office manager Benedicta Nieves. From DCU Digital Credit Union in Marlborough, Massachusetts, we have facilities manager Gail Lombardo. And finally, rounding out our panel, we have David Mora, president of Mora's Cleaning Service in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. Unfortunately, Gloria Camara, who is the operations and lending manager at Commonwealth Utilities Employees Credit Union in Marion, Massachusetts, was not able to make the call today and had to excuse herself. So let's start first and hear some comments and guidance from Austin Brown, facilities manager at Dover Federal Credit Union in Dover, Delaware. Austin, tell us how you are managing and maintaining the cleanliness and the sanitation of all of Dover Federal Credit Union's buildings and offices.
Yes, great. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to everybody. Again, my name is Austin Brown from Dover Federal Credit Union. Hopefully everybody is safe out there in these tough times. So yes, as Walter said, I do facilitate all of our branches, and we have 8 of them here within Delaware. And pretty much what occurs is, the manager at each branch, they work together and they tell me exactly what they need as far as supplies. Whether that be disinfectant wipes or anything that can make the branches safer for the environment, I go out and get. We also have a cleaning staff for each one of our branches that they come in every day to clean our branches on a normal day. Given the circumstances with the coronavirus, I did reach out to them asking if there was something more in-depth they can do to ensure that our branches are not only clean, but safe for anybody that comes in. Or, God forbid somebody has the virus that comes into one of our branches, how can we ensure that business is continuing by keeping the branch clean? So I did reach out to our cleaning company, Stratus, and they explained to me that they have what's called a deep cleaning surface, which is they kind of do a more detailed cleaning as far as the light switches, door handles, countertops. This is small things that people might touch. They go in detail to clean those at every one of our branches. So currently we are doing that every weekend at all of our branches, and that's been for about 3 to 4 weeks now. They go in, they sanitize everything, and this is on top of what the managers and the staff does on their own through the day, because they are also supplied with disinfectant wipes, sanitizer spray, hand sanitizers, all the cleaning equipment they need as well to keep it clean during the day. And then our cleaners at Stratus, they come in and they do a deep cleaning on the weekends and their regular cleanings during the week to try to keep everybody safe, our members and our staff, try to keep them safe.
All righty, Austin. Thank you so much. Let's move now to Benedicta Nieves. Benedicta is the office manager at Stratus Building Solutions in Newark, Delaware, and it's her company that provides the assistance to Austin and the folks at Dover Federal Credit Union to ensure that their offices are kept sanitized and virus-free. Benedicta, tell us a little bit about the services that you offer and how you are providing service today that really does focus in on cleaning the services, deep cleaning them to ensure that there's no trace of any coronavirus.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Benedicta. I do work for Stratus Solutions, and we do offer cleaning services. We do high quality cleaning. We make sure that everything's cleaned on surface, on doorknobs, on windows. We especially right now, due to the coronavirus, we are using disinfectant that's called SaniSpritz, which is also one-step disinfectant against all the viruses that cause COVID-19. So we definitely, on the weekends, what is the service that we're providing to Dover Federal is actually deep cleaning, disinfecting everything with that solution, which actually kills what causes the virus for COVID-19. We clean the countertops, we clean the window seals, doorknobs, anything and everything that a person can touch that has been infected with that virus. Apart from other cleaning solutions we do have and offer. We clean offices, buildings, everything that needs cleaning, we are there and we offer our services for that.
All right. Mm-hmm.
That is basically what we're doing right now. And we do offer that services for anyone. Anybody could call us online. We offer our services, and we are definitely using that type of disinfectant in order to kill anything that has that virus. So that way everybody can go into any office and feel safe that, it has been disinfected and is 100% free of that virus at that moment when it's cleaned.
Benedicta, let me ask this. So, Austin was saying that it was like on the weekends is when you're basically going in and doing the deep cleaning. Is there I guess my first question would be is this done, is that enough? Is that enough to do it once a week, or does it make any difference doing it every day, or is it not necessary to do it after every day?
Well, I would suggest doing it every day. I mean, we normally clean, we're just disinfecting normally with that product. What we do on the weekends is more of a detailed cleaning.
Okay.
More, but other than that, we normally clean with that product on countertops, on anywhere where anyone can touch. Just on the weekends, we do more detailed.
Okay.
Something that we can't do on a regular daily, we do on the weekend. At least for Austin right now.
Okay, so that's how you're doing it. So you're still, you're doing the typical cleaning, but you do the actual deep cleaning. Now here's another question. So somebody might say, well, I just use a regular like Ajax or some kind of store brand cleaner on surfaces. Is that sufficient to clean, or do you need a high, strong kind of solution to be able to disinfect surfaces against the virus?
Well, against the virus, it's definitely a disinfectant that is actually against that virus. And Ajax is not going to do it. Ajax doesn't have the properties for that. We have you have Clorox. Clorox works. Lysol works. Lysol White. But SaniSpritz is actually one that actually deactivates the virus that causes the COVID.
Okay.
So, I mean, but there are many products out there that you can use. Mm-hmm. Just you got to make sure you read exactly what it's for.
See, and that's good to know too, because we may have, we have on our call, and also obviously within the credit union system, there's a wide variety of credit unions. Some are, very large, they have a lot of assets. Some are smaller shops, and everyone really, works and tries to do their best, to be able to provide the services. But when you get into something like the pandemic and the kind of virus that we're dealing with, and how strong it is and how potent it is. It's really we really have to double down on our efforts to ensure that the branches, any kind of like ATMs that people might touch, or the countertops, any kind of stuff that where we have not just staff, that's present there, but also any members walking in. We want to ensure that everyone's safe, because God forbid if anyone picks up the virus. So that's why this conversation is so important today, and it's really something from an educational standpoint that we may be doing cleaning and disinfecting now at our credit union, but we want to make sure that what we are doing really is making an impact. We have to be certain of that. We cannot gamble on this. So now let's move up to Massachusetts, the Digital Credit Union, DCU. I'm going to invite Gail Lombardo, who's the facilities manager. I think it's also fair to say, too, that CCUA, our offices are in a DCU building in Marlborough. So we share space, with the DCU team. And Gail, let's start with you, and let's have you tell us a little bit about how DCU and you really manage the effort to ensure that all the buildings and the services are sanitized and virus-free.
Sure. Thank you, Walter. I want to thank you for the invitation. Like everyone on this call, DCU monitored the spread of the coronavirus, and we tried to stay ahead of the spread in terms of purchasing products as outlined by the CDC. On March 22nd, out of an abundance of caution, we made the decision to transition most of our back office folks to a remote workforce, and then the branches were restricted with their services to drive-through windows in the ATMs. We did that for 2 weeks, and on April 6th, we welcomed back employees that could not work from home, either because of technology reasons or because their job just wouldn't allow them to work from home. Presently, we have approximately 40 people in each of our 3 operations buildings, and this also included keeping open or reopening the cafes and the mailroom. So it was no small feat. Like everyone on this call, we're working hard to provide a healthy environment for employees who are currently working, and then preparing to welcome back all the employees as soon as state and federal agencies deem it appropriate. Prior to Governor Baker in Massachusetts declaring a state of emergency on March 10th, we purchased cases of disinfecting wipes, hand sanitizers, soap, and gloves for our 4 operation centers in our 23 branches. That would be the last time that I was able to really place a bulk order, because rightfully so, most of the products were being diverted to healthcare workers. One thing that we did do is we purchased a Brulin electromagnetic sprayer. We purchased 5 of them, and BrewTab tablets. The Brew tablets are a disinfectant tablet that are EPA registered and a bleach alternative. The sprayers offer, it's called wraparound spraying technology, and what it does is it allows the droplet to attract to a surface rather than staying and floating in the air. And the makers of the sprayers recommend that you spray after the surface has been cleaned and is dry. So in terms of our daily cleaning and how we are trying to maintain a virus-free building, our cleaning companies, including Morris Cleaning, address the overall cleaning and sanitizing each night. Dave, who is up next on this call, will go into more detail on the products that his staff uses, as well as their protocol for a cleaning program. From our side, each morning around 7 a.m., the facilities team will come in, and with the electromagnetic sprayer, they will spray common areas, stairwells, handrails, bathrooms, door handles, and also the cafes. Stairwell doors are left open to allow free passage between floors. We're using visual cues. Red labels have been placed in each bathroom stall and on the mirrors in each bathroom. We're reminding folks to practice social distancing by marking floor and placing signs in high traffic areas. When it comes to elevators, we've limited the use of the elevators. If necessary, we're asking that only one passenger be in the car. Through Dave Mora, we have day porters that work throughout the day. They are constantly moving around, cleaning high-touch areas and cleaning the bathroom. Once the bathrooms have been cleaned by the day porter, the facility staff will then go in and they will sanitize the bathroom again with the electromagnetic sprayer. Hand sanitizer stands are located at the main doors and throughout the building. And the other thing that we did very early on is we closed off conference rooms, game rooms, libraries, and any place where folks would congregate. In terms of the branches, with 23 branches, it would be difficult for the facility staff to get to each of those, obviously, every day. So in the branches, the cleaning staff manages, the cleaning staff, Dave Moore, manages the nightly cleaning, and the branch staff wipe down surfaces throughout the day. In the event that wipes were not available, we can use those same brew tabs that we use in the guns in spray bottles, which we can use as a disinfectant spray. Any staff members handling money wear gloves and wash and disinfect their hands often throughout the day. As we're starting to we're thinking about bringing folks back. We don't have a date, and we don't know exactly who we'll be bringing back, but we will continue to discourage travel between buildings, and we're really going to push the use of technology for meetings going forward. So those are some of the things that we're doing, and I think Dave can speak to his program and the products that he uses.
Alrighty, thank you, Gail. Let's go on to Dave Mora now. Dave is president of Mora's Cleaning Service, and they're headquartered out of Fitchburg, Mass. Dave, let's hear how you further complement what Gail has shared with us so far about the efforts at DCU.
Thank you, Walter. Yeah, thank you for the invitation. At DCU and the other banks that we do in credit unions, it's particularly to make sure that everybody's safe. So the disinfectant that we use, we have about maybe 20 different disinfectants with the company. Most of them work the same, but there are different ratios for different disinfectants. Some of them work quickly, like the tablets, like Gail was mentioned. Within a minute, usually, that sprays and sticks, and it kills the virus. Some of them might take 3 to 5 minutes that you have to leave the disinfectant on the tables or on the surfaces. Then you can wipe it down. And if you do it before that, then you're defeating the purpose. It's not going to kill the virus there. So one of the things is we train all of our employees to make sure that they know exactly which disinfectant to use at the proper time and how long to leave it on the surface to make sure it's effective. So that was a key to make sure that we have the disinfectant. And while we have so many, is because there's a lot of manufacturers that are running out of disinfectant there. So we wanted to make sure that we had enough to take care of our customers and also to protect our employees by purchasing gloves, the PPE, face masks. Those are very important to keep our employees healthy, the employees of our customers also healthy, and eventually their customers are going to come in. So it's the real great and nice. DCU is one of the few companies out there of credit unions that cleans on a daily basis instead of cleaning only once or twice a week, and especially with with the reduced staff that they do have in their branches, it gives us a little bit more time now to do a little bit more detail. The knobs on a daily basis, the countertops on a daily basis, where the tellers are using it. We know that those are going to be done on a daily basis. The offices, there's only usually 1 or 2 people that are using them there, so they're not full. So we don't have to concentrate on the areas that are closed. We just concentrate on the areas that are opened and make sure that are taken care of. Same thing as the ATM area is getting a lot of use outside. Some people take advantage of it and bring more trash in than just regular little papers there. So those are the things that we concentrate to make sure it's safe for their employees, for our employees, but also for their customers that are coming in through the ATM area right now. And also at the corporate office that they have, training the day porters to make sure that, we're 6 feet apart and make sure that we're wiping everything down, that when somebody walks through, if we see it, just do it. Wipe it down there. So, and the night crew is also supervised and managed that go by there on a daily basis and make sure that we're using the right chemicals and we're using the proper PPE too in there, especially in the lobby areas, restrooms there. So there, all the disinfectants should be approved by the EPA. And there's a lot of different disinfectants out there, but there are ones that are weaker and the ones that are stronger. The ones that are quicker are easier to use, are better to use. But sometimes if you can't get those, then you would want to do it. But you'd want to talk to your vendor or your supplier to see what they recommend. But there are the EPA. I mean, every single day they're almost adding more disinfectant to the list, and sanitizers, the same thing. There's a lot of manufacturers with the sanitizer there. There's the foam, there's the liquid, alcohol, non-alcohol, and the EPA has the approval of all those, and not just the alcohol sanitizers that is approved by the EPA. There are other ones that have other formulas that will combat the virus that are foam, and especially for schools that they don't want to have that alcohol that kids sometimes wouldn't be good for them.
Mm.
So, and again, we've been in business since '93. DCU is one of our longtime customers since '98. We've been servicing DCU, and it's a great partnership. And that's what we try to do, is to try to be a partner with the company that we're dealing with, as DCU or with another credit union or a bank. Relationship is communication. The more we communicate, the easier it'll be for us to take care of them, and the opposite way, we know we would take it. We know we can take care of them as long as the communication is opened.
Thank you, Dave. I think it's also important. Well, let me ask this, Dave. Right now, I know there might be situations where folks might have difficulty getting cleaners, getting like the solutions and things that are used to really disinfect and sanitize. Are you finding that there's any shortage of this on the marketplace, or are you still doing okay in terms of having access to the kind of supplies that you need?
I do, because we're doing okay, because I have three or four different vendors. I don't use just one particular vendor. And as soon as it happened, I try to order ahead. So right now I have enough for about 3 to 4 months. But I'm not going to wait for 2 or 3 months to order it. So I'm already ordering disinfectant and paper and supplies and all the chemicals that we need and products for 4 or 5 months ahead. So that way I know the stock is, because things are running a little bit behind. If you order something today, you're not going to get it tomorrow like you did a few months ago. You might get it 2 or 3 months. So we just have to make sure that we order ahead, because it's not going to come as quick as we all want it.
Mm-hmm. And Dave, and I'm going to also ask Benedicta this as well too. Dave, for someone who is listening to this webcast and they would like to get in touch with you or learn more about Moore's Cleaning Service, do you have a phone number, or do you have an email address, or even a website where they could go to get more information? If you could share that, please.
Yep. We're basically we take care of the whole New England area, but basically we concentrate more in southern New Hampshire, Massachusetts, and a little bit of the Connecticut area. And you can go to MooresCleaningservice.com, MOURAS, cleaningservice.com, or you can give us a call at the office at 800-478-5950, and 800-478-5950. And you can always email me to dave@moorescleaningservice.com. And if you dial the phone number and put extension 100, they'll come directly to me, and I can always give out my cell phone too.
Beautiful. Thank you, Dave. Benedicta, If you can also share with us how, if someone wants to get or has a question, wants to get more information about Stratus Building Solutions, that's down in the Delaware area, how can they get in touch with you or learn more about Stratus Building Solutions?
Well, you could get it off our site, which is stratusbuildingsolutions.com. For Delaware area, our number for the Delaware area is 302-414-9749. That's 302-414-9749. Or you can send me an email, which is BNIEVES@stratusclean.com. And we service the whole area of Delaware, some parts of New Jersey, and some parts of PA.
Alrighty, thank you so much, Benedicta. For all of us that are listening, participating in today's webinar, if you have a question or if you have a comment that you would like to share from what you're hearing, please send us an email. And send that email to communications@ccua.org. That's communications@ccua.org. We have teammates, or I have teammates, I should say, colleagues that are monitoring our email in baskets. We'll taking the questions and we'll call on them to read those questions that they might have. And I should say that joining us on the line from Delaware is Carol Anjou and Bernadette Hines. They are monitoring the activity down in Delaware and up in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. I'm getting all my states mixed up. Is Donna Bevilacqua, and Don Roberts is with us on the line. So let's start down in Delaware first with Carol and Bernadette. And Carol, any questions coming in from folks down in that part of the country?
Thanks, Walter. And yes, actually we do. It is for either one of our cleaning experts. Some people, they realize that you need to have the extra heavy duty, chemicals and everything for in the branches and in the offices, but they're kind of wondering, what about at home? Is it something that they should be looking for to get something that's extra strong, or is the regular cleaning supplies with, Clorox wet wipes and things like that, is that going to be enough around the house?
You want me to? I can answer.
Sure.
Go ahead.
No. I believe the regular wipes that they're using at home, the Clorox, is sufficient enough for your home. At least that's my personal opinion. For offices and building-wise, we should use definitely the more extensive sprays. But for home, you could use the normal sprays, Clorox wipes, disinfectant, Lysol, Clorox.
Yeah, the whole thing for home use, as long as it's a disinfectant that it'll kill the virus. There's a lot of chemicals out there that say they're all-purpose or all this and that. It has to be a disinfectant that will take care of the virus and kill it. And you have to also make sure you read the label. If you have to leave it 3 to 4 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, every single dilution and every single company has a different time that it has to be sprayed on and left on there for it to kill the virus.
Oh, so that's interesting, Dave, what you're pointing out, because I'm sure a lot of folks, I do cleaning, and I've been, I think all of us probably do cleaning one way or another around our homes, that sort of thing. But what you just said about when you spray onto the solution, it's not that you spray it on and then just wipe it off and think you're good to go. So some of these you need to kind of let them sit there for a little bit. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah. Nothing happens quickly. So, it depends on the chemical that you have in the disinfectant. Some might be that you have to leave there for a minute, and some might have to be there for 3 to 5 minutes for it to kill the virus. If not, you might be spreading it out. So you have to make sure that you leave the chemical there, and that should be on the instruction how long to leave it on the surfaces.
And I think another key thing that you said as well is disinfectant. You use that word. That is something that we should be looking at on any type of household cleaners or whatever we're using to make sure that it says that solution is a disinfectant, correct?
Yes, it has to be a disinfectant to kill the virus. The all-purpose cleaners and all that. It might work. It'd take a lot longer, but those are not EPA approved. So it had to be a disinfectant to kill the virus.
Okay, all right. Carol, Bernadette, anything else down in the Delaware area?
Actually, Walter, yeah, we have someone wants to ask Benny to spell the name of the disinfectant that she was talking about earlier, please.
Stani Spritz,
Yes.
SANI Spritz. SPRITZ.
All right, excellent. Thank you so very much. We appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All right, let's go up to Massachusetts, and I know we have Don Roberts on the line with us, and Donna Bevilacqua from our CCUA offices. Don, any questions, any comments? I know, Don, you are very much engaged in working with Dave and Austin, as since we lease space in DCU's buildings as a trade association. What are you finding, and how do you see the whole process going for disinfectant?
Well, I'm not there when they disinfect, but I know they're around when, I've gone into the office a couple times and I see Moores all around constantly wiping down and cleaning and stuff. So they are right on top of it. And, we need to let DCU know when we're there or not, so that they can kind of disinfect a little more if people have been in our area, to make sure that it's safe for when we do come back. So the other thing I want to point out to the people on the line is if you're looking for masks as well, Stephanie Smith from America's Credit Union Museum is offering them out to credit unions. You just need to email smith@acumuseum.org, and she will get them out to you. And that's another way to keep your staff safe as well while they're in the building.
Don, do you see, we're talking about cleaning and solutions and that sort of thing, obviously. And I know we heard before how, Gail was sharing that, the steps and the procedures that DCU is going through in terms of helping all the staff, so that, let's say, when we return back, whenever we return back into the buildings, we have the social distancing aspect. How do you see all that working when, you get some office spaces that, there's limits to them. You have, conference rooms. So obviously you're not going to have like 20 people in a conference room the way it was. And I know, Gail, you mentioned as well about, really looking to use technology a lot for meetings. What kind of challenges do you see this whole pandemic and social distancing creating within those kind of environments? And from a facility standpoint, how are you really going to go about helping folks to really being able to manage their ability for social distancing?
Is that to me, Walter? Or?
Well,
yes, exactly. I was asking the same thing.
Well, I think part of it is people have to do it on their own. I mean, they are, you can tell them, but you have to stress it too, that it's safe for everybody. You can't have too many people in a conference room. Depending on the size of your conference room, you want to make sure they're certainly 6 feet apart. And then just make sure you wipe down things. We have wipes in the office and hand sanitizer, and I've asked that if people do go in, that if they touch the copier, to please wipe it down with a hand wipe. That I know the place is being disinfected, but still it's just common courtesy. I think people just need to use their heads and have some common courtesy.
And Gail, when it comes to our offices at CCUA, obviously there's we're just a small little percentage compared to all the staff that works at DCU, and you all have several buildings as well too. How are you really taking the extra steps to really being able to manage that social distancing aspect?
Well, I'm actually being charged with looking at how we bring folks back, and we're considering things like staggering start times. We're looking at asking folks to come in through one door so we can monitor it through the reception area. So we're looking at, I heard someone use the descriptor adaptive recovery as we're talking about returning to business, and I think that that's really a key point. Adaptive recovery. We didn't know what this was going to do and how this was going to change our businesses. So I think, we do have to adapt what our workplaces look like going forward. So I think for whether you're large or small, you're going to have to look at how you do business and how you keep folks safe. And if that means, putting, if it's signage, maybe it's having someone monitoring the comings and goings closer. Are you going to take temperatures when people come in? So we're looking at a little bit of everything at this point. And I think within the next couple of weeks, we'll have a good idea of who we bring back and how we bring them back.
Excellent. Once again, let me remind all those that are on the line with us that please, if you do have a comment or a question, please email it to communications@ccua.org. Just simply open up another window on your laptop to where your email is and type it right on in and send it off to us. That will still continue to work. It will not disconnect you from the live stream itself, and that all should be good. And we'll be able to hear from you and share that question or comment with our panelists. A question did come in. And I guess this would be either for Benedicta or for David. Do you use any organic cleaning solutions?
My products are all organic. And yes, we do use them, and we do use non-organic, but the products we're offering right now are organic.
Yeah.
David.
Yeah. The products that we use, some of them are, and some of our biodegradable products that we use. So we do the EPA in Narragansett in Rhode Island, and the products that even before this all occurred and all that, the only products we can use there is all biodegradable. So that's all coming from vegetables or fruits or anything like that. So all those products that there. So it depends on the customer. A lot of the chemicals that we use they're all EPA approved disinfectant and all that. But there's a lot of new green products that are really good out there. It's not like it was maybe even 5 or 6 years ago that the name was Green Clean, but the products weren't that great. But now there's a lot good products out there, and they're getting better.
Let me ask this, and Gail, you probably may know the answer to it as well too. But when you have a facility or a building that's what was it is it 4-star that's been approved for environment compliant, that sort of thing? Is there requirements that go along with that then, that any kind of cleaning solutions used in that building need to be organic? Do you know the answer to that?
I think it's about the certification.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? I would have to go back. I don't know off the top of my head, but I would guess that everything. Yes. No. I know the answer to that. It does have to be organic or biodegradable.
And which probably could put another kind of, I don't want to say a strain on operations, but if it's challenging getting the cleaning solutions and all that, then it could be. But that's interesting. Now, do you guys find that there's any difference? And I maybe you've alluded to it, David, when you were just responding, between the organic and non-organic solutions. Both clean, disinfect equally as well?
They're actually very complement to what they were before. 5, 6 years ago, they were, they weren't as strong and they weren't as powerful. Right now, there are a lot of chemicals that we use. For the biodegradable, we use the Rochester line, and their chemicals are really good. They do a real good job, and they're strong.
Let's see. I think we have some questions up in Massachusetts, and maybe we have another one or so down in Delaware. So let me go over to Donna Bevilacqua, my colleague in Massachusetts. And Donna, do you have any questions that have come in?
Yes, Walter, we have several questions. First question for anybody really is, where are people finding sanitizers, Clorox wipes, Lysol sprays? And the other question kind of relates to the same thing. Where are small credit unions purchasing their cleaning supplies? And are they finding it difficult now to start finding these products? And what solutions are there out there? One other question in the same realm, where people are having such a difficult time trying to find some of these products, and this is for Benedicta or Dave, are there other homemade types of solutions that people can make using similar, different types of products that they could make up their own disinfectants? Because just from my own personal experience going in the grocery stores, you can't find anything now. They're pretty much wiped out of most things, so it's difficult to even buy anything. How can people make stuff, and where can they find them if they can't get the typical products such as the Lysol and Clorox wipes and sanitizers?
This is Austin here. I can kind of chime in on that because I supply all of our branches here at Dover for the credit union, and I will tell you it's almost impossible to find any disinfectant wipes. Luckily, I do have some connections with some of the people that I see a lot. For example, we have a Staples right up the street that I go into quite frequently to get, regular office supplies. And I've talked to the manager, let him know what's going on, and he kind of, lets me know when some comes in. That way, I have first dibs at it because I let him know that I supply all the branches, and they go through them quite frequently. So. And as far as the hand sanitizer, we actually hooked up with a distillery that we know. He actually has an account with us, a business account, and he actually made some hand sanitizers for us. So I was able to get a few gallons at most of our branches. That way they are set for a little bit. And again, I just try to go to a lot of these stores, Sam's Clubs, the Walmarts, any store I can find, and I just kind of check in there and I talk to them and let them know what I'm requesting, and if there's any way I can maybe get a phone call or email to get any in. That way I can come and get it and just try to supply the branches that way. But yeah, you're correct. As everyone knows, you can go into the store and you're not going to really find anything while you're there. So that's why I just try to reach out to the managers to see if they can kind of work with us and help us with that.
Hey, Austin, I just want to ask you, is your friend, your contact at the distillery, are they looking to expand their services to any other credit union perhaps in Delaware that might be looking for some cleaning solutions as well?
That's something I can reach out to my manager and ask them if they're willing to do that. I know they did that for us because they do have a business account with us. They established that through Dover Federal Credit Union. But that's something I could definitely reach out and ask them. I'm sure during these times, everybody's looking to help everybody because we're all in this together. So I can definitely reach out to them and see.
Beautiful, Austin. Thank you. And for anyone listening and anyone that's curious about this and maybe having Austin reach out, you could always get in touch with Austin at Dover Fed, or perhaps easier, email Bernadette Hines or Carol Langeau at our offices down in Delaware. Bernadette, Carol, you'll be the intermediary for that and help any members that are looking?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Austin, you and I can connect and see if there is something we can offer. So we'll definitely do that. Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, this is Dave. For the sanitizers, and the vendors are starting to get some in right now. I know I ordered mine about a month and a half, 2 months ago for some sanitizer, and I finally got quite a bit here in our office here in Massachusetts for sanitizer for our customers and all that. And we've been working with Also, the disinfectant wipes, we've got an order out that's coming directly unfortunately, from overseas, because in the States right now, you won't be able to get any for probably another 2 or 3 months. And if you do, you can go to, Sam's Club or BJ's and probably get 4 or 5 packs that comes in there, but they're only doing a single at a time. But the sanitizers are coming out now a little bit at a time. I would just call your vendor just to make sure that they know that you're there. And if you put in the order, then you're in the system. But they should be in the next few. If you're looking just for the Perel line, that's going to take a lot longer to come in. You probably won't see a lot of that until probably late September. At the earliest there, but there are other sanitizers that are not Perel that are starting to come into the market.
And Don, not to throw work on us or additional work on the team, but suppose I was to say that any members that are listening from up in Massachusetts or New Hampshire or Rhode Island that might be really struggling or in need of getting some cleansers or something of that sort, I guess it would be fair to invite them and maybe really encourage them, certainly to reach out to you or even me at CCUA and through our whole network of all the members that we have throughout the 3 states. We'll try and find a way to assist them. Is that fair to say?
Sure, that would work. And I did check our supplier, WB Mason, today, and naturally, anything that's labeled Lysol and disinfectant is sold out and on back order. It's all the stuff that's non-disinfectant they can get right away. And but we'd be happy to try and help anybody that needs it.
And the question that came up earlier too, obviously, that folks are, if you go to the stores, you're having difficulty finding it. And we posed that question to Dave and Benedicta, professional cleaners. If there is anyone else that's on this live stream webinar and that, hey, the Walmart down the street, at the other side of town has, a full good supply of it, send us an email. Let us know so that we could share that with those that are listening, so that we could help one another out. Because after all, that is part of our cooperative nature as credit unions. People helping people. So we certainly don't want to see one of our member credit unions struggling or being extremely challenged in trying to keep their environment clean. A question that also comes up in my mind, and I guess this is for all of you, Austin and Benedicta and Gail and Dave, is the air within the buildings. Now, obviously, is it something that when you're talking about fighting the virus and keeping the environment free from COVID-19? Is it something that the air systems in the buildings, the filters are being changed frequently, maybe more so than usual? How is that handled?
This is Gail. I think that we have our air filters changed frequently, but I think because we didn't really know much about the virus, we've all done a lot of research, and coronavirus really is spread through droplets. And then if you cough or you sneeze, the concern, it seems to be not a huge concern that it's getting into HVAC systems or what have you. But again, out of an abundance of caution, I would still go ahead and schedule filters being changed out.
And of course, too, when we talk about carpeting or rugs in facilities, somebody sneezes or whatever, say it goes onto the rug, that is being treated with the spray when deep cleaning goes on. I take it that's how that is addressed.
That is correct. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Benedicta. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, that is correct. With the spray, that definitely deep cleans the rug, everything. Anything that spray hits is for deep cleaning and for disinfecting against the COVID-19. So the rugs, the countertops, anything.
So I take
Even
it.
the air, I mean, you just spray it.
Yeah. So I take it then, Benedict and Dave. So when you guys are doing a deep cleaning, it's obviously it's going to take longer than it typically does to clean a facility when you're doing that, because there's a little bit more involvement and engagement that's going on.
That is correct. It does take much more longer this way. That's why we do it on the weekends when the credit unions are closed, and that way we could actually get every nook and cranny sprayed and disinfected.
Alrighty.
Yeah, it takes quite a bit, and also, a few weeks ago we did a total cleanup at one of the buildings for DCU, and we did disinfect from top to bottom, tables, ceiling, windowsills, countertops, everything. But we also did a carpet cleaning with a carpet truck mount unit that went in there. So everything. So it does take a lot longer. It's not just going in there and taking out a trash and vacuuming just with the area that you see or anything like that. So if we know that somebody has been positive or it might be a potential, don't take the chance and say, oh, it's maybe and maybe not. Just for the safety of the health of your employees and for your customers and just have it done to disinfect everything. It's better to, in a peace of mind, to make sure that we know we did what we can for everybody's safety, instead of saying, oh, it might be, it might not. Disinfect everything, get the carpets done, get everything done, so that way you know that whoever goes in there next is safe and healthy.
Okay, wonderful.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Walter, we have one other kind of piggybacks on that. Cleaning after, or the deep cleaning after you find somebody that has a virus has been in the building. Now, we know that they say that the people have to be 14 days in quarantine. So you come in and you clean the building and everything. Is there a time limit before, say, a fresh staff can come into that building? Should they wait a certain period of time after this deep cleaning has been done?
Yeah, usually within a few hours after everything's settled and all that, it'd be ready. Most of the when we're doing it right now, the next day we try to tell the customer, let it. We'll go in there deep cleaning throughout the whole day or night, wherever there. As long as there's about 3 to 4 hours, it's fine. But sometimes it's better to just have them close the building down or the branch for that night and just reopen it the next day.
Okay, that's the course that they can get a complete, staff enough to open it the next day. Depends on staff availability. Right. Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's good. That's good.
Walter, we have another question.
Alrighty, please go ahead.
And again, this could be directed to Gail or Austin, or how often is your staff at your branches cleaning ATMs and drive-throughs? Are they cleaning after so many customers have come through? What are you doing? Because, they're passing tubes back and forth from your staff, which I'm sure are all wearing gloves, but not necessarily everybody in their cars have gloves on, touching ATMs. How are you guys addressing that?
Mr. Austin, well, like I said, I do supply all the branches with the disinfectant wipes, so I'm sure when the tubes come through, they're wiping it down. They're very conscious of the cleaning of the branches, because I'm sure they don't want to, catch what's going around. So, and kind of like what I think Gail was saying, we have a Team A and Team B. They come in for 1 week, and then Team B comes in the next. And, they do that purposely, because if someone on Team A gets it, the whole staff is not out. And then we have the cleanings done on the weekend. So if someone does get it, like on a Thursday or Friday or anything like that, Stratus comes in, cleans the entire branch, all of our branches, and then the new staff comes in. That way they can start fresh. But I'm not at any of the branches to see them actually, how they're cleaning as far as during the day. But as much stuff as I've given them, I'm pretty sure that they're wiping down the tubes. They're wiping down anything that they come in contact with. When I do pop into the branches, I see a lot of them wiping down everything and making sure everything is clean and sanitized. So I can't say 100% that they're wiping down the tubes, but my best guess would be that they're keeping everything safe and clean for everybody in the branch and for our members as well.
Okay, thank you, Austin.
Yeah, I agree with Austin.
Well, we have about 2-3 minutes left in our webinar. Let me just go through our panelists again for any kind of like closing remarks or guidance that you might have, knowing that we're wrapping up, knowing that there's a lot of credit unions out there that perhaps are doing the sanitizing and disinfecting on their own. So any last minute or let's say final comments, guidance that you could offer. And let's go back. We'll start with Dave first, up at Moore's Cleaning in Fitchburg, Massachusetts. Dave, any final comments before we close?
Basically, the disinfectant now these days is just to make sure that every single area that is somebody touches gets disinfected, and that's important. And make sure that the disinfectant that you're using or that you're giving out or the cleaners are using is EPA, and they know that there is different waiting times for each disinfectant. But if they do need any help throughout Massachusetts or New Hampshire and Rhode Island and Connecticut, they can always give us a call here at the Moore's Cleaning Service and ask for me. And if they do need any sanitizer or anything like that, we do have some here, and we do provide those to our customers and to companies that do need them, or disinfectant too. If we have quite a bit here in stock too, so that's something that they're looking for to help out with their staff or anything like that. We can always go by there and help train their employees, or if they do need the complete disinfection of the whole branch or of their office facilities, our employees here are trained too, and we'll go in there with coverall and from top to bottom with face masks and also gloves and the proper disinfectant, and wipe down everything and then spray it after there. So any help that anybody needs here in this area, feel free, and it'd be our pleasure to assist anybody.
Wonderful, Dave. And Dave, if you could share your phone number again.
Yeah, 800-478-5950, 800-478-5950, and if you dial extension 100, they'll come directly to me.
All righty, Dave. Thank you much. Gail Lombardo, Facilities Manager at DCU in Marlborough. Gail, any final words of advice?
I say that I agree with Dave. Just make sure that you're using, the proper chemicals and cleaners, and depending on your size of the business, I think communication with the staff is really important. Putting together some guidelines, maybe not walking or spending too much time going between departments if you have a larger office building, or again, just stressing the need for social distancing and washing your hands.
All righty, Gail, thank you much. Let's go down to Newark, Delaware, and Benedicta Nieves, Office Manager at Stratus Building Solutions. Benedicta, final words of advice?
Well, I agree with what everyone else said. Definitely following the guidelines, making sure everything is getting disinfected. Anything that everyone's touching is getting wiped down correctly with the correct disinfectant solutions. If you need any help or any solutions, we could try to help here also at Stratus Building Solutions in Delaware. And we can be contacted at 302-414-9749.
All righty. Benedicta, thank you. And finally, Austin Brown.
Thank you.
Austin Brown, Facilities Technician at Dover Fed Credit Union. Final comments, advice?
Yes. Again, Walter, thank you again for doing this. This was awesome. Definitely enjoyed it. Sharing information with all the other credit unions and so forth. My final word of advice would be that, if we all do what we're supposed to do, we'll all get through this together. I know everyone's seen the commercials and seen, the cliche things, but in all honesty, I think if we all just, follow all the guidelines, wash our hands, stay home if we're sick, all those different things, that I believe that we'll all be able to get through this together. So, again, Walter, I thank you, and I definitely enjoyed this a whole lot.
Austin, thank you so much for being with us today. And I also want to thank and acknowledge my colleagues, Don Roberts, Bernadette Hines, Carol Langeau and Donna Bevilacqua for participating in the live cast as well. And again, a special recognition and thanks to Austin Brown at Dover Federal Credit Union, Benedicta Nieves at Stratus Building Solutions, Gail Lombardo at DCU in Marlborough, Mass., and finally Dave Mora, President at Mora's Cleaning Service. Thank you all for your expertise and your guidance today as panelists and my colleagues as well. And thank you too to all of our members and friends that are joining in this live cast to get the advice and guidance. Stay well, stay safe. We'll get through this, as we said before, all together. Remember, it's people helping people. That's what credit unions are about. Thank you for being with us, and that concludes today's webcast.